Welcome, Aries. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a third quarter reading for you, which consists of the months of July, August, and September. So this is something I mostly do. I don't always do it, but with the full moon in Capricorn currently resonating at the time that you receive this reading, it is a really important opportunity among all this planetary intensity regarding our efforts to make ourselves better, to improve upon our experience, our conditions, to see a better world, or to work towards that without always seeing exactly what that means. So I'm going to look at July, the Ace of Wands in the beginning of July. This is fairly straightforward. You're starting something new. And this is really resonating with your social self, your social identity, your professional self, the way you integrate or see yourself as a member of a community, a larger body or collective. The Ace of Wands is about starting something new or renewing something, refreshing something, getting a new idea that can infuse something you're building with freshness, with more inspiration, with a new idea. And the Five of Cups is describing the end of July. So here we are really looking at the way we have failed, disappointed ourselves, let ourselves down, and understanding that these disappointments are the result of choices that we've made in the past. But you're seeing the pattern now. You're understanding your part in this. So you are understanding that in order to continue to build this relationship with yourself, this healthier relationship with yourself, you have to experience, let the emotions flow from these very difficult experiences in the past. Mourning, regret, particularly if you've experienced losses that you may have formally mourned in some way or another, but as most of you that have experienced grief know, it takes a long, long time just to get comfortable with the physical loss of someone, even when you feel you have access to them in an ongoing way. You can still feel connected to them, but you're really allowing yourself to feel those feelings of loss and regret. And this is all in preparation to sweep away the past, to release these patterns, and to recognize you have an opportunity to choose something that is a better reflection of your dreams, of your aspirations, of your potential. So I'm going to clarify these for the month of July. And the Eight of Cups and the Moon card. And one more, the Seven of Cups. Interesting. So Cups is strong here. I do feel in July that you are very familiar with your community, your relationships, your exchanges, all the ways that you routinely build into things that you care about or that care about you. But you are yearning for a challenge. You're yearning to move to something that has more significance to you. You're looking for meaning in your life. You may be low-key bored, or recognizing the limitations of what is familiar to you, having a desire to consider other possibilities, to know that there are many other options out there that you would like to explore. With the moon right here in the middle, this is emphasizing really and truly what this full moon is showing to you, what it is revealing, what has been hidden, And that definitely relates to the change you want to make in your relationships, in the way you express your emotions. So you are in a place of allowing feelings that are uncomfortable to emerge, and that it can include having a vision or an ideal pace or goal of a project that is invisible to you still, that you're still not clear on where this is going to land. And you're okay with that. You understand that this is really about building the resolve and the commitment within you to pursue this, to open up. And this Eight of Cups is can be quite a dramatic shift. It is likely one that has been happening for a while, because the healing that the moon can represent has naturally been happening for quite some time. But this is having an impact on the path you're choosing to stay in community, be a part of a broader movement, or energize to contribute in a new way. In the month of August, we start out with the Queen of Swords, clear, concise, logical, reasonable, but curious. And the Queen strikes me here as being curious about the experience and the truths of others. This is a new way for you to explore all the ways that you are reaching for more meaning, for more challenge. As you have put together what is true for you, you are curious about how that is going to impact, or how that has meaning to those that are working with you, aligned with you in some particular way, part of your community. And you are, as often is the case, really adept at opening up to new ideas, uh, posing the right questions to your co-creators or collaborators, those you're working with, to help to nudge them out of the expected routines and habits, or to look more deeply at why things are done the way they're done. In the end of August, we have the Five of Pentacles. So here's another five. This looks like big changes, not only in your relationships and the way you express your emotions or your feelings, but this is about the changes in lifestyle that you are working towards. And overall, with Saturn, with the full moon in Capricorn in this particular moment, and with Saturn in Aries, there is this feeling of simplifying your life. It doesn't mean that you're throwing out anything essential. In fact, it is the opposite. Feel like you're moving away from what has always been expected, what you've always expected, how you've defined your resources according to your means. But you're looking at a significant change in what that means for you. In order to continue to invest in the likely challenge that you've set out for yourself, you're looking at what the essentials of your arsenal, your toolkit are. And I'm going to clarify this with three cards again. The Eight of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Four of Swords. Yeah, August, as is the case in the Northern Hemisphere, let me be clear, we're in summer, but in the Southern Hemisphere, they're in winter. You guys are in winter. So this has to do with a time that is usually kind of anxious, sort of the middle of the winter or the middle of the summer. Lots of ideas, lots of interaction, perhaps a lot of activity, a lot of social noise is how this is coming to me. And certainly as you are retooling a goal or if something you're building, there are a lot of opinions and offers of advisement, strategy that feel as though they're hemming you in. It's interesting because around I'm sorry, around this time, this renewal is being activated by reconnection with something that is a soul bond. And that doesn't have to be a relationship. It certainly can be, but it can also be an opportunity or a passion, something you love. So I see a connection between the refreshment of a project and this reconnection, not just with a passion or a soul bond, but with the pleasure that it gave you, the joy it gave you to exercise this talent of yours, this natural gift. And naturally, as you now feel stronger and more objective in dealing with this, you're open to a number of ideas that may be helpful, may open you up to new ideas, but feel stressful, feel cacophonous. The Four of Swords is giving you a lot to think about, an opportunity to do so. You're re-examining the experiences of failure and disappointment in your past. You indeed have understood a pattern and your role in perpetuating some failure or disappointment. But here you're actually recognizing that these disappointments, these heartbreaks, are gifts. And the lessons in them are really what you're trying to get at. And I think you're trying to engage a partnership, a community, a group in understanding the value of difficult experiences, that they weren't just to make you stronger, although that's absolutely a big part of it, but they were to teach you something about what it is you have to offer and about your real power, your ability to impact, to connect yourself with in a more spiritual foundation. So this is in some ways elevating your uh, enlightenment through the recognition of gifts in the form of difficulties, hardships, obstacles. In the month of September, starting the month, we have the Five of Wands. This is about this is a sort of build up. I see you starting something, opening up to ideas that could help to reinvigorate it and explore the notion of greater joy in the accomplishment or simply the exercise of a gift or a connection. But there's also a certain way in which you are understanding the process of collaboration at a higher level. So this always occurs to me as what I call a learning lab. So here there's a problem to solve. That problem may be the next step, what to do with resources you have, how best to distribute some resources, perhaps to the members of the group or outside of the group. Whatever the problem is, you are actively engaged in working collaboratively to solve that problem. So this is a kind of healthy competition. It's noisy. It is difficult because learning is difficult. And towards the end of September, the devil. So I am inclined to believe that you have really progressed in a powerful way towards something that you deeply desire, towards something you now have the confidence to build for yourself, even when, and particularly when that's in collaboration with others, because that's the real test. So the devil here is recognizing a pattern, some kind of temptation, something rears up, perhaps a soul bond from the past. We understand the joy and pleasure we get from giving joy to others, from creating something beautiful or useful in the world. But there are the other aspects of that soul bond, that purpose, that destiny that we're activating in our lives, and that is being tempted. Are there habits that you know are blocking you from fulfilling your realization of this bond, reactivating this deep connection, giving yourself the full opportunity to explore it successfully, to not fall back into the habits and patterns that you experienced here in your desire to change the way you feel, change the way you express your feelings and emotions, change the material outcomes of your efforts so that you feel yourself shifting your lifestyle, perhaps your community, perhaps you're relocating, taking on a new job. But here you are feeling a sense of being pulled back into an old habit that you know is defeating. And this is coming up particularly for those of you that have some childhood or family story experience with codependency in whatever way that speaks to you, so that we can progress, we can get better at recognizing the patterns and the habits that cohere around the pattern. But these attend quite often to the people we love the most: our children, our siblings, our friends. So this it feels like a test in the end of September, a way in which something you thought you had defeated, that you thought you were over with, comes back to see what you'll do, how you'll respond, how independent, how responsible, how accountable are you really. So 3 cards, the 9 of Cups, that's a good omen. The Ace of Cups, and the 4 of Pentacles. So here we've got 5s and 4s. Beautiful. 8s. I always love the repetitions. So working with others towards a goal, towards solving a problem, this gives you joy. This lights you up, Aries. You are in your zone here. You love being in a place where ideas are discussed, where options and alternatives are offered, where there's a real heartfelt desire to listen, not simply to speak. And this is really initiating a new sense. This is doubling a renewal here. Another ace. This renewal is emotional. This is you opening up your heart to the things that you aspire to, understanding that the connection is within you. This speaks to the vulnerability of love and your understanding that you wouldn't have it any other way, that you couldn't function any other way. Opening up and putting yourself through the process of identifying what is important, what are your priorities, what is the meaning you're grasping for. These 2 add up to the 10 of Cups, which is the ideal community, the family of loved ones, the collective that is resourceful and that elevates itself by sharing, amplifying what it has together. So you're seeing this new way of experiencing your contribution within a collective, a community, a partnership, a part of the team as your new foundation. This becomes the foundation on which you are building your material experience, understanding that you're not alone and that you've learned how to work with others in a way that challenges you in all the right ways. It feels like you've created the solution to this yearning for meaning and significance in your life. Really beautiful and powerful. I don't know how to end this, but I will with a crystal oracle, and I've got the Herkimer. Beautiful. Looks like a citrine to me. And the key word is dreams. I'm constantly manifesting my dreams into reality. Thank you so much, Aries, for this beautiful reading. If this reading resonated, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. Until next time, namaste.